You get up.
Oh my goodness, you want to sing?
Good morning, guys. I hope everybody is doing amazing this Sunday morning. I was just saying, it used to be my favorite song. We fall down, but we get up. Because a saint is just a sinner who fell down, but he didn't stay down. So this morning, guys, we hope that you are encouraged in your vision. We hope that you are not just not giving up on your vision, but that you're pushing the boundaries of your vision. We hope that you are stretching the boundaries of your vision. One thing I've learned in this last 9 years being an entrepreneur, because that's all I've been an entrepreneur. Well, I was an entrepreneur before that. I was more of a hustler. Let me say that. I hustled gift baskets and hustled plates and hustled cakes and pies, whatever I had to do to, make it to that next level. But I didn't know the possibilities of my vision. I did not know how wide and how tall and how deep I could create a vision. And what I've learned is that it takes just as much energy, right? Let's just say if we compared your vision to digging, it takes just as much energy to get up. Good morning, Kayshawn. We miss you. Get dressed. Go find your shovel. Go get some gloves on. It takes just as much energy to do all that. So if you're going to dig a ditch, you might as well dig the biggest ditch you can because you got to go through all that trouble anyway. And I think that somewhere in our vision, we tend to take steps. I'm gonna build it this big, and then I'm gonna build it this big. Thank you, Kayshawn, for sharing. Then I'm gonna build it this big. Instead of just going on and asking God, if you want a community of 10,000 people, say that. If you want $10 million, say that. Because when you don't, what you find is you're gonna have to keep going back to the drawing board over and over and over. He's gonna give you what you asked for. He's gonna give you what you asked for, and then unfortunately, you're gonna have to keep going back to the drawing board, asking for something else, asking for more each and every time. So I'm gonna let y'all weigh in on that because I feel like you might as well not just not give up on your vision, but challenge the boundaries of your vision. Ask for the biggest version of your vision possible and let God do the work. Don't worry about how it's going to get done. See, sometimes I think that, good morning, D. Morris, that's a faith move.
You really, you really touching me this morning, Coach, with that.
I'm telling you, that's a faith move.
It's a faith move in asking for what you want and not being afraid to ask for the big dream, the big vision. We ask for the little vision. I ain't gonna say we, I'm gonna make it personal. I ask for the little vision, thinking that because the big vision, I can't get to it right now. It's gonna come later. Instead of just asking for what you want straight up front and back off and let God work.
Or keep doing you. Keep doing you because God gonna do him.
That's right.
But we be so busy trying to say what we can't have and what we can have according to God, and it just doesn't work like that. It just doesn't work like that, guys.
Absolutely. I think that we have to, when we ask for it, well, first of all, we have to have, get out of the fear zone. And like you said, ask for it big. I would tend to agree with Rose where I ask for it in those small pieces and think, okay, if I can just overcome this part and then overcome this part. But like you said, go big or go home, ask for it big. God already knows what his plan is for you. He already knows what he has for you. He already knows what you need. But you do have to open your mouth and ask for it. And you do have to have the faith that Coach was talking about. I love when Coach tells that story about that storehouse, because that's all that stuff that people didn't think big enough to ask for, to go after. The vision wasn't big enough. And so therefore it was so minuscule that they can get anything at all. And all this stuff is all stored up and it all was there for you to begin with. But you didn't have the faith to believe.
I tell people all the time, don't get mad when you ask for $5 for gas money and I ask for 5 million and you get your 5 and I get my 5. What you don't have is as a result of several different things. Number one, what have you asked for? Were you specific? Don't just say, Lord, I want more money, because you'll go outside and find a quarter and the Lord will check you off his list. Come my done. I sent her more money. I don't know why we have such a huge problem. Good morning, Don. Good morning, Sherry. Good morning, Jamelia. Good morning, LaShonda. I don't know why we have such a huge problem asking for big. And I think it has a lot to do with, number one, not wanting to be disappointed. Thank you, Chiquita, for sharing. But disappointment lies more in your control than you think. I asked my mentees the other night, what I asked y'all. What question did I ask y'all the other night about going live?
Would you go live?
Would you?
Would you go live 1,000 times?
Not at all.
100. 100 times in 30 days.
Yeah, I'm not going to go live 1,000 times in 30 days. I'm not. And that's what it takes, count me out. But my question was, would you go live 100 times in 30 days for $100,000? If you could earn $100,000, would you go live 100 times in 30 days? If you could. And I challenged them, and they don't know we're going to talk about it in class Monday night. We about to get us a live. Yeah, buck your eyes, suck your teeth, roll your eyes, flick your wrist, shake your head, do whatever you got to do, Miss Rose. Because when you know what it takes, at some point you got to say to yourself, then why am I not doing it? Then why am I not doing it? So I'm going to give you guys the formula. You need to do this every single time you go live. Every single time you go live. So you can make your lives count. But at the end of the day, will you do the work and let God do the rest? And when people say they would, I ask them, well, why are you not going live now?
Yeah.
Okay, Sean. Hold on, Keyshawn. I'm finna tag you in something. But why you not going live now? It doesn't make sense to know what it takes and then not do what it takes. And it takes that and then some.
It absolutely.
Yeah, when I think about Coach a few minutes ago, when you were talking about the asking part, it took me back to a point in time, and I can hear your voice just as clearly in my head about your asker must be broken.
I remember that too.
Remember, she used to say all the time, what's the matter with you? That asker must be broken. Has to be.
And I don't know why we don't ask. I don't know if it's pride. I don't know. I don't know exactly what keeps us from, opening our mouth and saying, I need this. I gotta have this. Will you bless me with the Lord? Yeah. I don't know what keeps us from doing that.
Fear, faith, lower faith.
I think we are,
and believe.
I think we don't want to be let down.
I was getting ready to say that, Coach. The disappointment part. Even
you saying, what if it don't happen? And my point of view is, what if it does?
Good.
But you know, but it goes back to something you said to me, Coach, one time. And you'll probably remember this when I say it. If you say a thing, it'll be a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Oh, yeah.
As I said, nobody would show up. I didn't think anyone would show up. So if you don't invite anyone, then they're not going to show up. So what you said, you proved to yourself, but you didn't take the right action to find out what the real outcome would be.
Exactly.
And
if
I
you
think
say I can't afford, you're right.
Yep.
We got memberships for $59 a month. So while you saying on the outside saying I can't afford, go to bit.ly/Black Girl Profits Call and schedule you a call. You don't even know what you're up against. Some of y'all have been watching me for months, weeks, and years. And this is no tea or shade, but you're still in the same spot as when you started watching me. When will you do something differently? When will you say, let me get some help? Let me invest my $59 a month so I can grow it and move to the next level. Sometimes you just got to start somewhere. Where will you start? And even then, joining the membership ain't enough. You got to participate. You got to come to classes. You got to do your homework. You got to volunteer. You got to learn. There's so much of your success that lies in your hands. Somebody say my hands. I want y'all to type in my hands. Let me tell you about your hands real quick. Somebody type in my hands. With my hands, I can feed my family if I take the right steps. With my hands, I can make my dreams come to fruition if I take the right steps. With my hands, I can create generational wealth if I take the right steps. With my hands, once I know what to do, my hands can free me from a job. My hands can set me up for retirement. My hands can work from anywhere in the world. When you know what to do with your hands, you stop using your hands to work for everybody else, and you start to use your hands to work for you. There is power in your two hands, but where are you applying your power? Once I learned, see, it's that I tell you this third day in a row, I'm telling you this for a reason. Our mind says, I need extra money, work extra at my job. At the point where you start saying, I need extra money, work extra with my hands.
That's good.
Work extra with my hands. D. Morris, I'm finna ping you an idea too. And that's why you have coaches, because coaches are going to come up with ideas for you to make money even when you can't. You say you can't afford a coach, you can't afford not to have one, because all the multi-million-dollar ideas that you have will sit stuck in your hands until you get some help. Once your mind knows what to tell your hands to do. See, we was taught to take our hands and apply them to somebody else's dream. We was taught to take our hands and apply them to somebody else's wealth. We was taught to take our hands and work somebody else's garden. But when you start to take your hands and when you start to work for you, and when you start to get the right instruction to tell your hands what to do, that is the point at which your hands will make you rich. Somebody say, my hands. Everybody got something different in their hands. But because he is no respecter of person, your hands is worth just as much as my hands. And what's the difference between my hands and your hands? And why my hands make me so much money and your hands don't? I use my hands. I use my hands daily. I use my hands 2 or 3 times a day. Anytime I get an opportunity to create something with my hands, I do. To write something with my hands, I do. To form something with my hands, I do. And while you thinking small, a coach helps you think large. And so the power of your hands is multiplied not by 2, but by 10-fold, because you sowed a seed into your hands. When are you going to sow a seed and do the work? It's 2 things. You can't just sow a seed. Good morning, Cherie. You got to sow a seed and then do the work. And all of the power, Deuteronomy 8:18 says, you have the power to create wealth. You have the power. The power is in your hands. You want to be debt free? You got that power. It's in your hands. You want to work from anywhere in the world? You got that power. It's in your hands. And now all you got to say to yourself is, why am I not using my hands to work for me? And maybe it's because you don't have a plan. A coach can help you with that. Maybe it's because you don't know how to get started. A coach can help you with that. We have an amazing community that you can join for only $59 a month. Somebody type in the chat, start now. I don't want you to start tomorrow. I don't want you to wait till November 1st. I don't want you to wait till January 1st. I want you to start right now. I want you to go to that link, schedule a call. If you only got $59 a month, sign up. Sign up for the membership. But you need to start right this minute. Do not keep waiting on something that's not going to come until you activate it. Let me tell you about your hands. Your hands have had power in them since you were born. But if you don't activate what's in your hands, right? And the first 3 letters of activate is ACT, act. So you activate. If you don't take action, if you don't act upon the gifts that you were given, your hands will continue to come back empty or come back with a check that somebody else has designated the value of your hands. Somebody say, my hands is worth 7 figures. My hands are worth a fortune. My hands can create money for not just me, but the word says a wise man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. Your hand can do that. I don't know if you're trying to be humble, but this ain't the time for it. I don't know if you're trying to be proud, but this ain't the time for it. I don't know if you're trying to doubt yourself, but this ain't the time for it. The same way you take your hands to a job and solve all their problems with your hands, the same way you take your hands to a job and train everybody and their mama, including your supervisor, this ain't the time for it. The same way you take your hands to church and work in your community and work, have your hands all in your man business, working all over your children, trying to shape their destiny. When are you going to put your hands to work for you and your future? When are you going to take your hands and expect? I want y'all to type in EXPECT. EXPECT. 6 letters. And every morning when you wake up, I want you to say this. I want you to say, I expect. I want you to say that. It's okay to have an expectation of your father. When you were little, you expected your mother and your father to feed you every day, right? When you were little, you had an expectation. I never woke up thinking I'm not going to have nothing to eat. I never woke up thinking I'm not going to see. I had such a deep expectation that my parents would take care of me that a lot of times I took it for granted. You need to have an expectation of your next level. You need to be able to see your next level. You need to be able to call your next level by name. You need to be able to walk to your next level. And this is all about not giving up on your vision. He said, write the vision and make it plain. If you didn't get your vision journal, you missed out. Because it was a great opportunity for you to hold yourself accountable month over month for making sure your hands do what they supposed to be doing for you. Somebody say for me.
For me.
That's the hardest part. You're going to take care of mama. You're going to take care of daddy. You're going to take care of hubby. You're going to take care of your kids. When will you take care of you? When will you take care of you? When will you hold you accountable for the same greatness that you bestow upon that job every day? When will you hold yourself accountable for the way you're living? Less than what your father had planned for you. See, once I understood that abundance was my birthright, once I understood he brought me here with a plan for me to be successful. Once I understood that, the enemy could no longer trick me into being satisfied with less than. Once I understood that I'm supposed to have these things, and the only difference between me and somebody that has them is that they use their hands to work for them, and I use my hands to work for them. And so who's working on my land? Who's working in my garden? Who's making sure that I'm going to be able to eat when things get tough? Once I understood that, you couldn't tell me anything. So go to bit.ly/blackgirlcash2020. Join our membership for only $59 a month. If you're not sure that's going to work for you, if you're not sure, try it out. You spend $50 on pizza. Hello?
Easy.
Try it out. You spend $50 on shoes if they on sale. Don't be so offended when people offer you help at a rate. Don't be so offended if somebody says, well, I'm going to need you to pay for that help. Don't be so offended because you can't go nowhere and get help for free. You go to the eye doctor, you got to pay to get help seeing. You go to the podiatrist, you got to pay to get help walking. You go to the ear, nose, and throat, you got to pay to smell, hear, and breathe. You go to Walmart, you're going to pay to pull them groceries out of there. You go to the grocery store, you're going to pay for that bread, milk, and eggs. Good morning, Aaliyah. Thanks for sharing. When are you going to understand that the same way you sow seed and everything else for it to grow, nothing grows, nothing grows. Somebody type that in. I want you to walk away today and understand nothing grows without a seed. Nothing grows without a seed. Absolutely nothing is biblical, is nature. Nothing grows without a seed. The bigger the seed, the bigger the harvest. You're not sowing a seed in me. You're sowing a seed in yourself, and the government's going to give it back to you, which is the crime and the shame. It's a crime and a shame. When we was little, I used to think people said it was a crime and shame.
And then what they were saying, Coach?
It's so bad. No, it's a crime and a shame.
Right.
Oh, wow.
It's a crime and a shame, but it sounded like they were saying a crime shame.
Yeah.
A crying shame. No, it's a crime and a shame. Good morning, Shanendra. If you don't invest in you, and the crime and the shame part is that the government will reimburse you 100% of your business expenses. So to not have business advice when the government will turn right around next year on your taxes, you can deduct, as long as you're formed as a business, you can deduct your advertising, your marketing, your business consultation. You can deduct your travel. You can deduct all things business from your taxes. It's a crime and a shame to have a government, because that's the only way y'all gonna get y'all reparations. I'm telling you right now. If you're waiting on reparations, this is it. If you're waiting on reparations, this is it, y'all. Take these deductions from this government and build you a legacy. You mean to tell me you can't spend $59 a month and the government gonna give it right back to you next year? I think that it's that you don't have. I think you scared to go. Wait a minute now. Let's start a fight, y'all. Y'all got to jump me, Rose.
What?
Don't let them jump me, Dr. C.
I got you back, Coach.
I think it ain't the money. It's not the money. It couldn't be the money. Because do you know how many things I can do for $59 a month? Once a month, I could sell fish plates.
And make $59. Make more than $59.
Make way more than $59. If I wanted to make my $99 a week to join the junior mentorship once a week, I could sell spaghetti plates. I could sell fish plates. I could sell fried chicken plates. People don't like to cook.
Coach, you're making me hungry. Who's selling them plates? Who's selling them plates today? I can get me a plate.
You better say it. People don't like to cook. And guess what? You ain't got to come in my house. You can leave my food right on my porch.
Say it, Coach. Not tap on the door and leave it on the steps. When I see you pull off, I'll open the door and get it and say thank you.
Exactly. Come on, Sherry. Come on. When she said she coming to COVID. She coming to Texas when the craziness decides. Girl, we might be there with you. But listen, you got to understand that you have got books in you. I remember Dr. Miles Monroe. Patricia said, "Changing the course of your life" by Miles Monroe. I remember I have about 40 Dr. Miles Monroe books. And I remember a few years ago, I said to myself, I want to write books like that. And no sooner than it got out of my mouth, I know I'm beyond 40 books right now. My next move is to start getting them translated into other languages. There's so much you can do, but you gotta have help. Your hands have power, but you need help releasing the power.
And sometimes I think we forget.
Go ahead, Rose.
Sometimes I think we forget. We know we have it, but we get caught up in all the inertia, the things that come to distract us, and we gotta be mindful of the distractions when they come.
You know what I think, Rose? I think we welcome them distractions. I remember being on the lookout for distractions. I used everything as an excuse not to embrace my greatness. I'm not gonna lie. It's scary.
It is, Coach.
When you really start to understand just how much control, and you know we don't like to make mistakes.
Yep.
We don't like to mess nothing up, but we don't realize that you're not going to get there without messing something up. So we sit still because at the end of the day, when we know we full throttle, we have more power than we would like.
Yeah, absolutely, we do. And when we were talking about the vision and the asking, we put limits on ourselves. We think it's too big for us, so it must be too big for God.
I never say that. I know. I'm telling you what we be saying, Dr. Cynthia. We say it's too big for me, and I'm embarrassed to ask God for it, because what if I don't do the work? And now God looking at me crazy. Come on now.
With the side eye.
That's a good point.
Come on now.
That's a good point.
And you right, voice Doc. We don't act like we're perfect, but we act like we can't make no mistakes. Like the world is just gonna gobble us up if we make a mistake. Like it's gonna be 1,000 people around us saying 999 if we make a mistake.
I told you so.
What the matter is, it really ain't just that many people watching you. So you really think that many people is watching you? They not.
A lot of times though, folks may get hung up because not necessarily of the outside public watching, but of your inside public watching, your family, your friends. And we allow them too much power to speak into what it is that we're doing, because a lot of times they are watching to see what we're going to do, because that gives them permission to try to do something too. So,
and not only that, good morning, Maria. Not only that, Rose, we got to remember they don't know what our assignment is.
That's true.
So even though they love us and they really trying to keep us from harm, don't go out there and hurt yourself doing this. Don't go out there and hurt yourself doing that. They're trying to keep us from harm. They don't realize that they're negating the power that we have.
They don't know it.
Break this conversation.
They don't know it, and they don't understand the journey that it takes to get through it either. They don't understand. They don't understand.
Well, how could they? They never been there.
Exactly.
And it's not their assignment.
And it's not their assignment. And we've got to stop letting people who are not on our same path, who are not on our same trajectory, speak over our next level.
Come on, Coach.
Exactly, Maria, we said the same thing the other day. People that are not in the fight, they don't have the room to talk. They don't. There's a quote by Brene Brown that said, you can't laugh at the man that's in the arena. My mama taught me that early. You can't laugh at the person that's in the talent show. They had the courage to get on the stage. And if they keep doing it, eventually they might be in Hollywood. See, nobody is perfect when they start. You wasn't perfect when you started your job. I don't know if you remember having your first baby. You wasn't perfect when you brought that baby home from the hospital. You made $1 million worth of mistakes. Wonder you didn't kill that child. What number grace? End up crying at the end of every night about all the mistakes you made. I don't know when we got so great, so elevated that we can't make a mistake and smile and keep going, that we can't fall down and laugh and keep going.
Like a child does.
The Bible says a righteous man falls 513 times. I ain't all the time righteous. I'm about to double that number.
Triple amount.
So it's not the falling that's the problem.
It's the getting back up.
It's the getting up.
Mm.
But I'm gonna tell y'all, the faster you fall, the faster you get up, the faster you get to your destiny. There is just a certain amount of times that you're gonna have to fall to learn to walk. So if you fall, get right back up, fall, get right back up. You're gonna walk 10 times faster than the person that falls and lays there and starts blaming everybody. I tripped on the carpet and somebody pushed me, and I don't normally fall like this, but you got to give yourself grace and the time to learn. So guys, if you haven't already gone to bit.ly/BlackGirlCash2020, join the membership for only $59 a month. It's a great place to learn. If you think you get a lot here, you gonna get your socks blown off behind the scenes. Yeah. You're gonna need a community at this next level. When that calendar drops in 2021, you're gonna need somebody to have your back. You cannot, that's part of our problem as women. We want to be lone rangers, but even the Lone Ranger had the Tonto and his horse. You can't do this by yourself. We were talking about grants last night. It's so many grants that we'll never be able to see them all by ourselves. You got to have a community. And I don't know any community greater that you could join for $59 a month and learn what you're going to learn. So your vision is worth it. You're worth it. Your next level is worth it. Remember, you can't get a harvest where you don't plant a seed. It's time for you to plant a seed in you. Dr. Cynthia Rose, I'm turning over to y'all.
I don't know. Hey, you said it all. There's nothing else I can say to follow that up. You don't.
What you do, Rose?
You should know what to do by now. You better go to that.
How you doing it, church coach?
That's how they do it.
The word, as my pastor would say, the word has been.
Come on. Go to www.blackgirlcoins.com and sign up. That's it. That's it. That's all. Go sign up.
That's it.
Don't delay. Don't walk. Run now.
And don't keep waiting on you. You're not waiting on God. You're not waiting on the economy. You're not waiting on COVID. You're not waiting on your husband, your children. God is waiting on you. Been waiting on you for a long time. Don't keep him waiting. Don't keep him waiting. Y'all have an amazing Sunday morning, guys. Do it again, Rose, on the way out.
The word has been preached.
All right, love you guys. Have a great morning.